speaking as the producer of this show,
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're sleeping with the producer of the show.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And this is a podcast where the host is definitely sleeping with the producer. Can you believe that? Oh my God. Welcome. I didn't think that was going to hit that hard, but I've been sitting on it for 2 days, so I'm glad it did.
Well, yeah, you're sleeping with the producer.
Hell yeah.
Of course you're sitting on it. Wink. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Good. I'm glad you're good. And also, speaking as the producer of this show,
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're sleeping with the producer of the show.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Super.
Extremely glad.
Yes. I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. As you know, it's been a hell of a week. My
Yeah.
brain's just been mean to me all week long. Today, a 6-year-old made me cry. Like, legitimately, I sobbed. I
Now,
was very upset.
It just to be clear, it was our 6-year-old.
Yeah, it wasn't a random 6-year-old. It was my own son. Made me cry.
Just some snot-nosed Brad at the Meijer. You know, it wasn't that. It was definitely our son, who did just some regular old 6-year-old nonsense.
Oh, yeah, he was just being shitty and 6. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
All 6-year-olds are sociopaths.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he asked. He was like, "Hey, Mom, play a video game with me," and then he bossed you around, ran off, doesn't teach you how to play the game.
Yep.
And then you're like, "Can we please go back and do an easier level?" He's like, "Nope, you can just watch."
Yep.
I mean, and now in his 6-year-old brain, he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
No.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But that's hurtful. And we had that, we explained it to him. And I'm sure as he gets older, he'll get better. But it's never fun. It's never fun to be waylaid emotionally by any child, let alone one that you gave birth
Oh,
to.
yeah. I made him inside my body.
Yeah.
And he 1-2 punched me with my emotions. That's rude. That's rude. How are you?
I'm really good. I am just cruising. You know, I'm excited because I'm just going to get this out right now. The timing is going to be a little weird on this if you're listening to the main line or on the Patreon. But my other podcast, Put Me in Coach, my co-host Matt has a really awesome job at the Natural History Museum in New York City. And sometimes his hours get a little crazy, like this week. And so instead of doing a rerun, I was like, why don't I ask my wife to come on the show? So we are recording on Saturday, June 1st. Happy first day of Pride, everybody. But the new episode of Put Me in Coach featuring you will be out on Wednesday, the 5th? Yeah, Wednesday,
June 5th.
Wednesday, June 5th is when that will be out. So if you're listening to this on the main line, it is now at least Monday, June 10th, which means that episode's already made out. TLDR, I'm very
Time is weird, and I'm going to be on a baseball show.
It is, yes. You are going to be my co-host for an episode of Put Me in Coach, and I'm very excited. So go listen to that. Now, before we move on with this show, with this episode of this podcast that we co-host together, and the producer of which you are sleeping with, we made a slight adjustment. Last week, I asked you what you were going to be reading, and you said something. I don't remember what it was.
Yep.
But then the week kind of got away from you, and so we punted. We're not doing that book this week. You have picked up a shorter book to kind of as a get us over.
Yep.
Until I assume you're going to do that book
Next week.
Yes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be out on the 17th.
Yes, it will.
All right. So with that in mind, again, this presents an excellent opportunity for this show, which is I don't even know the title of this book. And,
yes.
And today you expressed excitement about being able to tell me the title of this book.
So the thing is, like, when we do these full blind, we've done 3 of these episodes now where I've gone in full blind. You haven't known what we were doing. We've done Unhinged,
Yep.
Puck and Plume,
Yep.
and this one.
Okay.
And when that happens, for whatever reason, my brain's like, we get to go extra crazy. We get to get weird with it this week because I'd like to surprise you more. For whatever reason, I like to surprise you more when you don't know what's coming. So this week, I read for like the 3rd or 4th time, for your enjoyment, Cyborg Pool Boy. by Naomi Lucas.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm in.
Okay, so I love this book. This book is a short story. Its full title is Cyborg Pool Boy, a Cyborg Shifter's Short Story by Naomi Lucas. It's only about 50 pages long. It is part of the Cyborg Shifters series, which has like 9 full-length novels in it. I've read the first 2, Wild Blood and Storm Surge. Both of them are very good. This is a sci-fi alien romance. We're going to outer space again, so everybody get excited for that. And otherwise, it's just like this really short little chomp of hilarious awesomeness. So let's get into it.
Where somebody fucks a pool Roomba.
Yeah, no, not at all. But this book is available for 99 cents or through Kindle Unlimited. Our triggers this week are sci-fi violence and excessive galactic wealth. Because again, capitalism is a trigger. Money is a trigger for me. Extreme wealth. And our tropes are FM romance, human and augmented cyborg, sci-fi romance, and shifter romance. And then our sex content is explicit sex and shifted sex. Nothing too weird. I don't even know what his dick looks like. So, it's nothing too weird.
Yeah. If it's not worth mentioning, let's just assume it is a standard issue penis.
Yeah. Standard issue, human-esque
Yep.
penis.
Human-like penis.
Yes. Okay, let's begin, shall we?
Yes, let's.
All right. So our setting is the future. When, I don't know, far-flung. We've got cool technology and weird shit now. Our FMC, let's just start with her. Her name is Lily Larkswest. There's an S in the middle. Larkswest. My brain got confused every time I read it. And she is arriving at her family's, frankly, upsettingly posh, gigantic estate. At the beginning of this book, that's just where we begin. She's getting off of her spacecraft. She is having trouble because she is particularly sensitive to space travel, so she gets sick every time she's in a space vessel of any kind. But she's getting off of her space vessel. She's walking onto her estate. This is her massive, gigantic estate. It belongs to her and no one else because her parents are dead and she owns everything now. How did they die? I don't know. They don't tell us. She doesn't particularly have hard feelings about it, but the vibe I get out of it is like incredible intergalactic wealth. I wasn't raised by my parents. I was raised by a series of nannies in boarding schools.
So she was traveling through space. Was she traveling from Earth to space where the estate is?
Yes.
The estate is in space.
Yes.
Do we know which of the planets it's on? Is it on a moon?
It's on a planet. I couldn't tell if the planet itself was named this or if the estate was named this, but it's called Luxuria. Luxuria. Luxuria.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Lily is a very lonely woman. Like I said, she grew up in a series of boarding schools, not boarding homes. She was groomed to be an elite socialite. She has an education, but she doesn't have a purpose or a function beyond being very rich. And she doesn't really always fit in that scene. A series of misadventures that she explains in her own backstory are just littering her past. Yeah. I love her. She's great, but she's bumbling fantastically, in her own way through life.
She's the bull in the china shop of her own life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So she is now hiding out on Luxuria before the lawyers can track her down to start hitting her with the realities of being the heir to a massive fortune. And she went to Luxuria specifically because it is the only place in her past where she has nothing but happy memories. So she just wants to be there because it's the thing that she remembers as being a nice thing. And she didn't have a particularly good bond with her parents, but it was still a nice place that she lived with them.
So it sounds like people haven't terraformed other planets, but they can have summer homes, it sounds like.
Yeah, so the implication in some of the internal thoughts is if they had bought this planet outright, it would have been a great investment. But most of this is unincorporated wildland with other stuff on it, and they just happen to own a big chunk of it. But I don't think it's terraformed. I think it's just naturally habitable.
I hate the idea that somebody could have enough money to own a planet. Let's call it a planetoid.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that you could like exist in a world where if you were outrageously wealthy enough, you could actually be doing us all a favor and being like, I'm going to fuck off to space.
Yeah, and never come back again. Goodbye. I own this planet. It's mine. And we're all just like, don't go there. That's rich guy planet. That's Joe's pile of shit planet. We don't want to go there.
Wait, so this billionaire, this multi-billionaire bought a planet and is leaving this one and is never coming back from that one?
Mm-hmm. Fucking bon voyage, sir.
Wait, don't go.
There's just people throwing parties on the lawns of their homes, watching it go away and never return.
Are you guys partying because I'm leaving? No, we're just
we're just so really excited about the expansion of you're hooray, humans expanding into the cosmos, and you're the future, buddy.
You get up there and expand that cosmos and don't come back.
Never come back
until I'm done. Right?
Can we change the locks on a planet? So
quick, turn all the lights off. He won't think we're
home when he comes back.
He's looking out from his comically large telescope. Wow.
Oh, where is everybody?
Oh, lights on Earth are out.
Everybody went over milk at the same time. Space milk.
All right, Luxuria. Planetoid.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so Lily.
Owned by Lily Larksweather. Larkswest.
So Lily is accompanied by, she's the only human on, as far as I can tell, this planet. She's accompanied by a very large retinue of staff and security androids. They are her security are armed to the teeth. The estate is also secured to the nines. They are rated and certified as a human sanctuary capable of housing at least 1,000 people. With supplies on hand in case of an emergency, including the president. Like, they have the special certifications necessary to house the president, whatever the president's form may take now in the future.
But are they Six Sigma certified?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
It's some bullshit I've seen on like LinkedIn. I don't think anybody talk. It's like ISO 9000 certified. It's like some sort of like concept or like we work in this.
You can be certified in a concept. Okay, well, I'm certified in love, motherfucker. Yeah. So
I have to do. Well, let's put it this way: I haven't seen or heard anybody talk about ISO 9000 or Six Sigma in a very long time. So I'm guessing people either don't do it anymore or everybody realized it was bullshit.
Oh, it's just a cult, just another cult.
Yeah, it's just another thing that people made up to be certified.
Yep, and take your money.
Yep.
Okay, so she has a large. The house is very secure. She isn't at any risk while she's here. She is just alone while she's here, and she's kind of lonely about that. But she came here for a reason, and the main part of that is that there is a pool here. There is a massive pool here that is well landscaped with native fauna. She remembers swimming here as a child every single day. It's her happy place. She just wants to go there and swim in that pool. So she goes out back to the pool, and it is not okay.
Well, I really wish the title had been something different, so I wouldn't have given any of this away.
You don't know what is coming. I didn't either.
Okay.
The first time I read this, I was like, what?
All right.
Okay.
Pardon my cockiness.
Right? Okay. So the pool is not okay. The pool is sort of brown and mucky, and there are like these gross vines tendriling all through it. The native fauna that are like touching the water are dying, so the water itself is somehow toxic. The androids explain to her that there is an infestation. Something from outside got inside, and now they can't kill it. It got inside, and now it lives here. It has taken up residence in the pool.
It is part of this ecosystem now.
And she's like, well, why didn't you kill it? And they say, well, the house AI, which they call Mama Bear because it's set up like it's got like child safety on it for her still. Like it's set to protect the child. She is the child. So the Mama Bear protocols are on. The house AI wouldn't do it because you brought it inside.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck. And she flashes back and remembers when she was a child and she snuck out because she was precocious. And she found this really pretty flower. And she brought it in because she thought it was pretty. And she just wanted it to be inside with all the rest of the pretty flowers inside, like inside the gates. The pool itself is outside, but it's inside of the gates. And she just wanted to be there with all the other pretty stuff. And it was cataloged at the moment that it was brought through the gates as specimen 108. And her parents always encouraged her little precociousnesses. So the house AI didn't immediately destroy it. And now it is unfortunately a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Is it walking around going, feed me Seymour?
Not quite,
right.
but pretty fucking close.
All
yeah.
right.
So they say that it is dangerous. It don't go in the water. It's lethal. And she's like, get the fucking Star Blaster bazooka. I want my pool. She has a bazooka, and she's like, and I know how to use it. It's not the first time I've even shot the thing. So apparently she's really rich, and really rich people in the space in the future just shoot guns, like big guns for fun.
This could kill a building.
Seriously. She's like, my friend's bachelorette party. We all just got to shoot one for fun. It was great. Okay, fuck.
So she was married at some point?
No, her friend's bachelorette party, not her own bachelorette
I
party.
misunderstood that.
Yeah. So she gets the Star Blaster and she starts loading it up, and she tells the androids, like, if there's any trouble, pull me back inside. Obviously, I don't want to die. The building itself is like blast shielded. So if she goes back inside, she's fine. She shoots it like one time thinking, okay, this thing can take out a building. It can probably take out whatever's in my pool. It doesn't even touch the thing. And she's immediately like, reload. And they are pulling her back. These androids are pulling her back inside of the building. And 2 hours later, the firefight dies down. They haven't touched this thing. It is like unkillable.
Plant's like, ooh, that tickled.
Exactly. And she's like, now what the fuck do I do? This is my sanctuary. This is my like happy place. What do I do? I guess I'm going to have to figure out if there's such a thing as an interplanetary exterminator. And she checks whatever the space equivalent of the Yellow Pages is. The Yellow Pages children were a That's where you looked things up before Google existed.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of phone numbers.
Yep. Alphabetical order. You just looked them up in a big book. Everybody had your phone number. They could just look you up.
I made one prank phone call because of the phone book.
Oh, yeah?
And it was because when I grew up, we kind of copied the phone book, and there was somebody in. I was so bored. This is what you used to do before the internet. You would get bored, or if you were an autistic child before the internet, you would get bored and read the phone book.
Yeah.
And I got to somebody whose name was J Big Meat. I called them. I mean, I immediately panicked.
You called Jim Big Meat?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? I don't know what that J stood for, but there was somebody out there in the Flint area back in the 80s named J Big Meat, and I'm really sorry that I prank called you. And by prank called you, I mean you said hello, and I just stammered and hung up.
Aw, that's so cute. That's adorable. How old are you?
Oh, God, I think I might have been 9.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, my God, I can't take it.
It was around 3rd grade.
I could picture tiny Carl just like trying to be funny and not.
Yeah, no, I had not developed any sense of humor at that point.
Oh, poor baby.
There's a phone book.
There's a phone book. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she calls, and who she summons is our MMC. His name is Moss Johan. He is a human augmented with non-human DNA and cyborg technology. There is a lot deeper, like, technobabble, sci-fi cool shit explaining these guys in the full books. I'm not really going to get into it now, but they were, like, designed for war, and they're very deadly, and they're super awesome, and they're all made of metal and shit. Moss, though, Moss is a retired war hero now, and he works for the Earthian Planetary Exploration Division, colloquially known as the EPED. EPED. He is a retriever, which means that they take down or bring in interplanetary monsters that nobody else can deal with, but they call themselves monster hunters. Mm-hmm. He's an EPED monster hunter. And he basically storms into his boss's office and says, "Did you see the number of zeros on the contract that just came in? I'm taking it." And she's like, It's a private contract. We don't do private contracts. You can't just come into my office and take work. You shouldn't even know. I haven't even put this in the system yet. You're not supposed to be hacking the system to get what you want, Moss. But Moss is a cocky-ass war hero who wants more money.
Well, yeah.
So he's going to take this job. and there's nothing else that you can do about it. So the next scene, he is landing at the at Spaceport 3 at her compound because it's big enough to have multiple ports of entry for spacecraft, and he meets her right on the dock. Sparks fly. This is an insta-lust book, kind of, because they don't like fuck immediately, so I don't call it insta-lust like that, but they are immediately into each other like that. There's a moment where we learn what their appearances are. So Lily is your standard issue, pretty petite human woman. She has long pin straight black hair with like pink mini highlights in it. And he has white hair, white eyebrows, white eyelashes, and white eyes. I thought he sounded creepy.
Yeah.
But he is described as being beautiful in a way that is still masculine. So he's obviously not human, but he is human looking. He is a human augmented. So he has human DNA in him. He's just not fully human, but he is handsome. And he is your big, like, he's your, I guess, like military model book boyfriend. He's big and broad, and he wears a armor all the time and carries a gun and shit. And she's really, really into him immediately as well. There is some flirting / dick measuring that sort of happens at the same time. I think he's like, I'm going to drive the hovercraft. Well, now that I'm here, little lady, I'll drive the hovercraft. And she's like, excuse me, I own all of this.
Yeah,
including the hovercraft, and I'm fucking driving it.
Yeah, and also that contract that you found out about,
exactly,
you should have known about with all those zeros.
Yeah,
guess who's paying all those zeros?
Exactly, my signature is what gets you the zeros. So maybe fuck off.
Yeah.
So they have a little pissing contest. She does drive the hovercraft as you would expect her to. They have a little bit of a conversation. He apologizes for behaving that way, and basically says, like, I didn't adjust my expectations accordingly. I forgot where I was, during the war, because he's a war hero. He is very used to a very different kind of life. He said during the war, it was impossible to see a person by themselves, but particularly an unarmed person or a woman. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you were alone made me want to like protect you. And the first thing I thought of was like, okay, well, I can drive. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, cool. Thanks. And he never does it again. So good job. That's how we do things like that. We fuck up and then we apologize and then we don't do it again.
Very easy.
So good. Good job, Moss. So she takes him to the pool. They discuss the infestation. This infestation is a sentient carnivorous plant. It's basically Audrey 2, but it can't sing. And it is taken up. It's aquatic. It lives inside the pool, underneath in the water. It's taken up residence. It has like broken out a piece of the pool underneath, and like more water is underneath. Mm-hmm. So it's even deeper than it looks in there. It has at this point killed several androids. And can camouflage itself so well that the only way she can even see it is with infrared technology. So she's like, I don't even know if you can hurt this thing. Like, these are my Star Blaster bazooka rounds that didn't do shit. So
wow.
I don't know.
I use those in the military. Those could kill a building. Yeah, no, I know.
But he is completely confident in his ability to take this thing out and no problem. This is where he starts telling her a little bit about himself. Like, he is a shifter. He doesn't tell her or us as the audience what kind of shifter he is for a very long time. But though we do get some hints, including the word bear. He also says things like he is an extremophile, meaning that he can withstand extremes. He also makes a fantastic joke about himself being a microorganism, which she then flips back later, saying that she doesn't want to see his microorganism. Thank you very much. He makes a few other like sort of tooting his own horn comments about like his massive claws and his awesome unkillable self, and she doesn't really take it too seriously. She understands that he's a cyborg and therefore a shifter because that is a thing that exists in this world, but she knows that she shouldn't ask him many questions about it. And she also doesn't like fully believe him. She's like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. This thing killed a bunch of my androids. I think maybe you're overestimating yourself. But he says, okay, well, we'll see. The next morning, she goes to bed And the next morning, he is still standing in the exact same position she left him in the night before. And she's like, okay, creepy. And she's standing like 20 feet away from him thinking that. And he just goes, I can hear you. Like, you can hear what, motherfucker? She wasn't talking. But okay. Jesus.
Weird.
He also can smell her. At one point, there is a joke about smelling, but he can't smell it. So he never says that he can smell her pussy. Thank Christ. But he also says that she smells of windswept bluffs and starlit field, she smells of windswept bluffs and starlight, and those things aren't even smells. So he's aware that he's like, she smells like these beautiful poetic things that are not fucking real. What the hell is going on with me?
Yeah, because like you could be at a windswept bluff that is downwind from a dump.
I was gonna say, and it smells like cow shit,
right?
Because most bluffs have cows and fucking goats and shit on them.
Yeah. Like you can,
Yeah, depending on the bluff and low tide, like.
Oh, wow. Those bluffs are beautiful. What do they smell like? Absolute garbage.
Death. Fucking death. Smells like red tide. That's what it smells like.
We're downwind from the abattoir.
Oh, no, you don't want to go down there. Those are the butcher bluffs. It just all smells bad. It smells so bad.
Thought that was just a clever nickname, like that was named after somebody.
No, it's because they used to butcher the cows and then just let their blood roll down the bluff. Yeah. Sorry, that got really dark.
It always does.
It always does. We always manage to make it weird here. So anyway, back to our story. So Lily and Moss have some like flirty morning banter. They walk down to the pool. And this is it. Like, they're okay. It's time for him to do his job now. He has her go back inside where the blast shields will protect him. But she says that if anything will protect her. But if she says if anything happens, she's coming back out with the Star Blaster. She's going to bring the bazooka back out. And he's like, no, do not exit this building. Again, she's not listening. She doesn't believe him when he says he's unkillable. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, why would you? Someone says to you, I am unkillable. And you say, all those faces sounded so good in that podcast.
It's the second time we've done that. Well, no, it's actually the first time as far as you guys know, because I only know it was the second time because I recently edited the Lost episode and I made that joke in that episode too.
The faces joke. Yeah, it's always funny.
No.
She's very scared for his well-being is basically what I'm saying here. But he is like, I'll be fine, babe. And then she watches him as he, for her benefit, very slowly takes off all of his clothes down to his nano suit, which is described basically sort of like a second skin that just layers over him, but doesn't leave anything to the imagination.
She's like, oh, you're circumcised. Interesting.
Why would you circumcise I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is interesting. We'll talk about that later. He dives into the water, and the extermination is pretty quick and clean after that. So he goes in with nothing but his knife. He takes the knife just for her benefit, though, for her peace of mind, because she wants him to go in armed with something.
Did he put it between his teeth?
No, it's like sheathed to his thigh on his nano suit.
How am I supposed to know he means business?
I know, right? Because his dick is swinging between his legs in his nanotech suit. He's dived in naked, apparently, to fight this pool monster. So he tracks it down. He entices it to show itself. It's got like all of these little tendrils that float through the water that it uses to sort of inspect. He stabs one to get its attention, and it eventually sort of wraps him all up. He wants it to think that it's got him, like, and just squeeze him to death. It wraps him up and pulls him down as far down as he can get. The pool breaks free. He's in the actual layer of the beast, and then he shifts into his shifted form, and that is when we learn that Moss is a giant tardigrade shifter. So when he meant he was unkillable, he fucking meant it. You can't kill a tardigrade for shit. Tardigrades can live anywhere, including volcanic vents in the bottom of the ocean floor and space. They are unkillable.
Peak physical performance.
You don't want to hear it, but this is what peak physical performance looks like, man. So he has been
Space cow.
So bear. Space water bear.
Yeah, there you go.
So he is a human who has been augmented with tardigrade DNA. He shifts into a tardigrade, and he has integrated cyberkinetic parts. So when he shifts into a tardigrade, he gets an armored shell.
Yes, he's an armored tardigrade.
He's a giant armored tardigrade.
You know, I know that we don't
And
do...
it's beautiful.
I know we don't do a lot of books featuring humans fucking other humans on
I
this
know,
show.
but why would we?
Why would you even have a giant armored tardigrade?
Why would I? When I could do this book specifically for my sister-in-law who loves tardigrades.
I was just gonna say, I hope my sister is going to listen to this. I
I'm
don't.
gonna
I
text her
know.
tomorrow.
I know. Yeah, text her because I know she said things along the lines of, "It's weird hearing my brother
Yeah,
talk about."
she
some of
does
this shit."
listen. I know she listens. Hi, honey. This book's for you.
She does love a tardigrade.
She does. She loves tardigrades. So he transforms into his full, like I said, he's a giant armored tardigrade. He rips the shit out of all of the tendrils that are holding on to him. And it starts to surface with him. But she saw him transform and then get like in this huge fight, and she's screaming at the window, etc., etc. It rears up all the way out of the water. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
This thing, whatever it is, and it swallows him. And she shoots it with the rocket launcher thing.
Space bazooka.
Space bazooka, thank you. And it doesn't do anything. Obviously, it doesn't do anything. And she's like, get more guns. Maybe now that he's here, Mama Bear will let me have the fighter jet and we can just shoot it. And while she's freaking out and the androids are trying to figure out what to do, they start hearing the sound of this loud, rhythmic cracking that gets louder and louder until eventually he rips through the throat of this thing and tears its head off. And extermination complete. He has taken care of her infestation problem. It's dead. Hooray. And he transforms back into himself, and she's like, I thought you were dead. And he's like, I told you to stay inside. What the fuck are you doing out here? I said I would be fine. And I meant it.
I tried to tell you.
Right. I tried to tell you. So she's like, wait, so does this mean like your contract is done? He says, almost. He takes her down to where it was living, and it has babies.
Uh-oh.
It was guarding 8 little babies. And so they put them all in pots and they take them out back into the natural forest and let them and replant them out there and let them live in their own natural habitat. But like the whole time she's driving them out there, this is so me, by the way, the whole time she's like, it's okay. I'm so sorry he had to kill your mom, but she was a real problem, but we're going to go out. We're going to you're going to grow up to be just as evil as she was. Yes, it's going to be just fine. Like that's exactly what I would be doing at this. Oh, you sweet little carnivorous man-eating babies.
Your mother was such a horrible
She was
creature.
such
and
a
you're going to be
bitch.
just as bad.
Oh, I hope you kill everything, but just not inside my property. That's all she wants. So they plant them. They have one more like short conversation. They never really talk about how they're both feeling, like they don't want this to be over. They're having extreme feelings for each other for no reason at all, but there don't have to be reasons. Hey. And they go about their business. Like they just end this. He goes back to his ship to like make a final call to his boss. He tells her he's just going to call his boss. He'll be right back. And then when he gets in the ship, his boss is like, what did you do? Because the big boss, whoever the big boss is, like, he's really pissed. What did you do? You have to get back here right now and smooth over whatever the fuck you did. You made your money. You made so much money. That's great. But now you have to leave. And he's like, oops, sorry. I can't come. I'm not coming back. Bye. And then he just smashes the console.
I think we're breaking up.
Yep. And then he just smashes the console and then just rips pieces of his ship off and just throws them all over the estate. Weeks. It'll take weeks for these repairs to be done. He can't go anywhere. Where's he supposed to go? His ship's not functioning. So he goes back inside and they have sex about it. Finally, we got to the important stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about fucking you.
Yeah. While I'm here.
I tore my ship apart so I'd have a reason to stay behind and fuck you.
Yeah. So he finds her. She is in her narwhal pajama pants, which I thought was an adorable touch because he called them porpoise unicorns. Porpoicorns. The sex that they have is fairly simple, but also he does do it partially shifted. So there is a sequence of him eating her out with his weird tardigrade mouth. And even he's like, don't think about it too hard.
Too late.
Like she's looking down and she can see eyes, but he's like blocking he's like, don't think about this too hard. It's a big circular open orifice. He doesn't have teeth. Tardigrade don't have teeth. So
yeah, but it looks like you're trying to put tab A into tab A.
Yeah, it does.
One big hole going after another hole.
It describes it as essentially like a big mouth vacuuming onto her. It's great. Well,
I was gonna say I can see how
but
that
with
would
no
be,
tongue.
yeah.
So but there are like nubby bits, and
I was gonna say I can see how that would be pleasurable.
Yeah, exactly. So she has a fantastic time, and then eventually they do have sex. He shifts some in the sex as well, but there's not like a description really of what happens, except there's some kind of nubbins down near his penis that like press on her clit but I don't, beyond that I got nothing, which is great because I didn't really want to get too deep into tardigrades. Are super fucking cute.
Yeah,
would I have sex with one? No.
I don't want to picture a tardigrade getting its dick wet.
No.
Or its whatever.
No, whatever it has.
I don't want to picture it getting its whatever.
Look, whatever your whatever is going to do, I don't want to know. Whatever your whatever is whatevering, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Go away. No soliciting. Goodbye. So they finish that sex scene. It's great. 5 stars. They snuggle up. At the end of that scene, she's like, I am never telling anyone. Because then everyone will want one. Like, this is mine. There seems to be some sort of implication that what he is a secret or like taboo or something. Mm-hmm. But all I heard was, nobody's going to know about this dick but me. This is mine. I'll keep this secret till I die. The end. So that is the end of the book. There is an epilogue. Of course, there always is an epilogue. Yep. 3 months later, Moss and Lily get married. Moss has left the EPED in favor of being the full-time security for the estate. He lives there with her, and he is fully in charge of her security. Like I said, she's got a fucking fighter jet. He is happy as can be every day. He's like, look at all the weapons I have. I get to fuck this lady and keep her safe with all these big guns. Yes! So he's thrilled. And then the very last scene is like a paragraph and a half. Lily is getting ready to walk down the aisle. She's got her dress on, but right before she goes down, she has her friends zip her into a massive inflatable tardigrade costume, and I just think that's fucking hilarious. She puts her veil on over it, and the doors open as she walks down the aisle, and I can just imagine just dun, 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 and then you just hear that shh, 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 that big inflatable thing.
It's got a onboard fan to keep it inflated.
Yes, it has to. I just loved that mental image so much. I hoped that she didn't take it off. I hope she got married in it. I hope she got married in the big suit.
Definitely came into to play
with
that
her
night.
Massive, hot, white-haired husband, and nobody understands why this is funny. Because apparently it's supposed to be kind of a secret, I guess. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, that was Cyborg Pool Boy. Thank you so much, my love.
I love. Oh God. I see. No one. I know we've like polled people, and people are like, "Yeah, man, more humans and stuff." But like, I just love the creativity.
Oh yes.
The cleverness. But B, it's so fucking, it's fascinating because these are glimpses into these people, like these writers' brains.
Yes.
And it's fascinating. And I mean dead fucking serious.
Mm-hmm.
I please don't think I'm being glib. Like the Vera Valentine coming up with the idea of somebody fucking a door.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is
Vera Valentine's newest bit. Her newest book, Cold Sweat.
Yep.
A stepbrother Kool-Aid Man romance. You're welcome.
Yeah.
How? Who comes up with that shit?
And
Geniuses.
I want to make it clear, like what you like. Please don't ever think that we are yucking yums here. But why would you read ACOTAR when you could read a stepbrother Kool-Aid Man smut fest?
Yes.
Why would you read that one that got turned into a television show on Showtime? It's got like 8 books. They're like this thick. There's like time travel or something.
Outlander. Outlander, not a romance novel.
No, but like anything that
romance
is
elements, not a romance novel.
Exactly. Like, but why would you stick to something so boring and plain when there's just so much out there? Like, take it all in.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's just the difference between certain types of people.
And again, there is a place for all of it, and I am not casting aspersions on anybody. I'm just shocked that more people don't find this as fascinating as we do.
I know, right? I know. If there aren't more people going, what new and interesting thing can somebody have sex with today? Like, because that's what we'll do if we ever make it to space. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Humans are fucking everything. Why don't we just start imagining it now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, let's not beat around the bush. I've got nothing in terms of a good transition. So let's just talk about what we're into.
All right, let's do it. Shall I go first?
If you got something on deck.
All right. Yes, I am into Fantasy High Junior Year.
Oh.
This is the second time I've talked about D20 on this show, Dimension 20, the live action Dungeons and Dragons role play television show on Dropout. Usually it is GM'd or DM'd by Brennan Lee Mulligan, who is one of the best professional DMs out there, I guess, who'd be up there with like Matt Mercer in terms of being great. Their first foray into live play Dungeons and Dragons was called Fantasy High, and their third season, Fantasy High Junior Year, just wrapped up, and it was awesome. It was so good. It's the same people who have been playing since the beginning. So Brennan is the dungeon master, and then you've got Zach Oyama and Brian Murphy and Siobhan Thompson and Emily Ashford and Lou Wilson. They're all so good at playing D&D. Oh, and Allie Beardsley. I forgot them. I'm sorry, Allie. I forgot you. And you're my favorite one. And they're all so good at playing D&D, but in a way that makes it like so even I understand it, because I don't understand it that well. But I'm like, oh, that's smart. They did the thing. They remember the thing. So even I can remember the thing. And and it makes it fun. It's like playing D&D with my friends. And the stories are so interesting. And the way that they played them is so good. At one point, they did a thing. The players did a thing that pissed Brennan off so much he almost quit on the show that episode. Like, he got up and left the table because of what they did, because his plan went so off course. And that's the beauty of it. He can genius mastermind whatever he wants, and then 5 other people are going to just fuck his life up, and it's funny every time.
Yeah, that's in betting terms, that's you pick Brennan or the field.
Yeah.
I'll take the field.
Yeah. You put up against that crew, I'm always going to take the field.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I'm into. Fantasy High Junior Year. I hope that they do a Fantasy High Senior Year, but even if they don't, oh God, this story has been so much fun to watch and watch them develop and watch the characters develop and the people themselves. I feel like they're my friends now. It's nice. I have parasocial friends. It's great. What are you into, my love?
I am into, in a roundabout way, I'm into getting old. That's not what I'm into for the purposes of this, but as I recently expressed to you, and as you've noticed, I have been how many times revisiting the catalog of Talking Heads.
Yes.
The amazing band Talking Heads. Tremendous band from the late 70s and early 80s, and they were a seminal early 80s band, and they were the first band that I noticed as a child. Like, it was the first time as a child, as a small child, I noticed a band because they had a visual presence and a visual style, and they were on MTV a lot.
Was it the big suits?
Well, yeah. Well, the big suit came from Stop Making Sense, which I didn't see until later, but predominantly it was the video. It was the videos for Once in a Lifetime and Burning Down the House.
Okay.
That got my attention. And they sort of became pioneers of this one chord funk, like you could almost draw a direct line from Talking Heads to like Gorillaz.
Okay. Yeah.
You listen to Dare.
Yeah. Okay.
And then listen to Talking Heads. Like, you can see that connection there. And but aside from that, like, I was listening to Once in a Lifetime, and the lyrics of that song, a song that came out when I was roughly my daughter's age, is now like so relevant and impactful to me as a middle-aged human. And it was so fascinating to hear a song that I've known for over 40 years resonate in an entirely different way simply because of the context, like where I am in my life now. And revisiting all of that has been an absolute blast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a YouTube playlist of some of my favorite Talking Heads tracks. And I want you to listen to that. But if you have Max, HBO Max, whatever you want to call it, Stop Making Sense, the A24 re-release that came out last year, is available on Max for you to watch. It is one of the best and most seminal concert films of all time, and I highly encourage you to watch it. It's not just great musical content. The performers are phenomenal. The staging, the conceptualized, the concept of all of it, directed by Jonathan Demme, the late great Jonathan Demme. It's just, I can't say enough good things about my first favorite band, Talking Heads. So that's what I'm into.
Absolutely amazing. And if you watch Stop Making Sense, you will understand the joke that is the cold open from last week's episode.
Yes. That's what inspired that cold open,
David
which was
Byrne's being weird at the Victoria.
Which is not in the episode at all. I
Nope.
literally got out my phone and recorded that on my phone so I could put it at the beginning of the episode, because I wanted that joke to be out in the world. Because if you were not married to me and you were trying to like craft the perfect joke to make me want to marry you,
it would be that.
It would be that.
All right. So now you have the joke formula. The next thing you have to do is formulate the plan to kill me, because you're not getting me out of the way unless I'm dead. So
But then the catch-22 is you'd have to get past me.
Yeah.
And
if you told the joke,
Yeah.
would they get past you?
No,
if they told
God,
the joke? Okay.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, you're gonna have to kill me first and then tell the joke,
Look,
and then you can marry him.
I'm in too deep. I'm in way too deep now. The idea of like getting to know on such an intimate level another human being, fuck that.
No, thanks. I'd rather die alone.
I'd much rather die alone. If you go, like,
that's it.
You could go tomorrow, and I'd be like, well, kids, it's just you and Daddy.
Aw, that's so sad.
No new mommy for you guys.
Call Aunt Nene. Call somebody.
Yep.
Call Aunt Nene. I've always said that if you ever die, I'm just gonna marry a woman, because Lord knows I'm never marrying a man again.
Yeah, that's fair. As a species, collectively, historically, not great.
Historically, not great.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it again.
I mean, big picture, if you wanted a broad stroke, like if you just want to look at history and just like pick random terrible moments, you could throw a dartboard at the shitty moments in history.
It'll land on a dude. Straight right there in the middle of his ego.
Yep. Blindfolded. Pol Pot. Go fucking figure.
Napoleon, you motherfucker.
Right? Jesus.
Alexander?
Let's put it this way. I have listened to a ton of episodes of Behind the Bastards, and do you know how many women have been featured on that show?
None.
Yeah. Well, let's put it, they have been involved,
but they've never been the bastard.
They've never been the bastard.
Yup.
It's called Behind the Bastards for a reason, and not Behind the Bastards and the Occasional Bitch.
If they ever do one, they're gonna have to make a special episode called Behind This Cunt.
Yeah. Behind this one bitch,
this
right
one
here.
specific bitch.
So, just to refresh everybody's memory, you know, we said it at the end of last week's episode. What are we reading next week?
Next week, I am going to be telling you the absolutely delightful, beautiful, wonderful story that I've already read. I just haven't done the notes for, of Mixing Up Mayhem by Heather Nix. So wonderful.
Oh, good. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Cheap Smut. If you would like to send us an email, please do so. cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you go to the show notes and click on our link tree, the top link is a link to this book. It is not an affiliate link. We do not get any money for this. We are just trying to help out the author. If you would like to support us financially, you can do so over on Patreon, where all we ask is $1 to get early access and the occasional bonus content, just like these fine folks do. Dana Goddard, Stephanie Hawkins, Gemma, Lady Squishy Buns, Tia Esk, Rob Gatika, Angela McNichols, Katie Hurd, Gwendolyn Harper, Seneca O, and Rebecca K. The music that you hear in this and every episode is called Nostalgia by Makai Beats. I was actually a little thrown off by the fact that I couldn't hear the music while I'm doing this, thus completely forgetting how I've done this for 60 episodes. You can find this song along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org.
And listener, remember, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
Now I'm done for the night. Goodbye.